So I've got 5 plants to show you guys today in this favorites video. 2 of them are brand new and have quickly made their way up my favorites list. I can't stop looking at them. They are, you'll see them later. And one of them I've had for a while, but you've never seen before. What is up, my planting people? My name is Lithius and welcome to Roots Ready. Today is an exciting day, exciting unboxing day. Look at the height of this. Woo! Let's open it up. You ready? Did I open it upside down? I opened it upside down. Oh boy. Ready? Ooh. Yeah. Look. Oh my days, this is an AMORPHOPHALLUS something. I'll put it on the screen. But this is it. A wish list plant. So this is the last one for today. I'm gonna try to hide any identifying information. It's a smaller one, but still exciting. Ooh. This right here is the Hoya DEYKEAE. Oh, lovely. It's giving me Obavata vibes, actually. I like it. So yes, guys, this is the first plant on my favorites list this month, the AMORPHOPHALLUS ATROVIRIDIS. This is also known as the Voodoo lily, also known as the corpse flower. So yes, this is one of those plants that when they start to bud, when they put out their inflorescence, it smells of rotting flesh, because that's how they sort of attract their pollinators. So they tend to be flies and beetles and so on. I've had this plant in my collection now for just over a week now, so maybe a week and a half, and it's fine. I do find it to be just a little bit thirsty in the first week that I've had it. So I know this plant doesn't like to get bone dry in the soil. So you really want to water this plant when the soil is about 50% dry. Today, can you hear that? It's a bit dry. So it is quite a thirsty one. I'm going to give it some water today. I haven't done my chores today. You can see it's actually starting to lean over ever so slightly. So I am going to have to sort that out, give it a drink of water. But this plant has been on my wish list for so long. On my eBay account, I've set some search alarms, and this plant has been on there for maybe a year and a half. This plant does not show up often. So when I saw it pop up on Grow Tropicals, I was on it. I was like, I need this plant. They did have it recently, actually, but unfortunately, I was too late and someone picked it up before I did. But I'm so happy to finally have it in my collection, guys. It's just a stunner. It's so different. I love the dark leaves. I can see why they call it a voodoo lily as well. Just that dark green leaves. And I don't know if you can see it, if it'll pick up on the camera, but just on the edges of the leaf, or the leaflets rather, you've got that sort of that neon pink that runs throughout. So that's really, really interesting. Another interesting fact about this plant actually is that this whole thing, this whole structure here, is a single leaf. So this would be the petiole, and this right here is the leaf actually. So these little individual things here are the leaflets. So I thought that was quite interesting because I actually thought this was more like a tree structure before I did my research, and then I quickly learned that it's not. And yeah, it's just so cool. I love the stem. It kind of looks like it's got lichen on the stem. And I hope the camera is picking that up because I really do enjoy having this plant in my collection. It's so simple, so beautiful. Oh, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy that it's finally here. So this is it, the first plant for the week, the Voodoo lily, also known as the AMORPHOPHALLUS ATROVIRIDIS. And yes, the second plant is this one right here. This is the Hoya DEYKEAE. And again, this plant has been on my list for a long time. From the time I first started to get into Hoyas, I've had this one on my list. It gives me Cerei vibes because of, you know, the lobes that it has here, but it's not quite as heart-shaped as the Cerei. As you can see, I've got it and it's got these two lovely little leaves. I don't think they're going to get much bigger than this because it's starting to harden off now. This, as you can see, it's in perlite. I may switch it over to pond or maybe even to soil because I know a lot of Hoyas like that, but I'm just going to leave it as it is at the moment. At the moment, I've got it away from my other Hoyas, just isolating for a little while. Hopefully there are no nasties on here that could spread to my other Hoyas, so I'm keeping it away for now. It's not sitting in a reservoir. I just go in once a week or whenever I notice that it needs a bit of water. I go away, I give it a good soak, a good drench all the way through. And that's it. That's all I'm doing for now. And once a week, I give it a spray of insecticidal soap just in case there's anything on here, so I can really get to that. But I'm really happy to have this because it's been, again, on my wish list for so long. And I finally have it. This time, eBay didn't come through because, again, it's been on my sort of alerts list for a long time, but I got this one through if you're in the UK, definitely follow them. They're called the UK Plant Exchange. I'll put their name up on the screen so you can see. Follow them because it's a great platform where people post plants that they're selling on Instagram, or if they're in search of a plant, they'll put it on there as well. And finally, someone put this up here that they had it for sale. Again, I was straight onto them saying, you know, I want one. And I finally have it in my collection, and I couldn't be happier. This is the Hoya DEYKEAE. I don't know if you guys saw my philodendron collection because I went through every single philodendron that I own, and there were two on there that I wasn't too, you know, pleased with, and you know, they could have gone. And one of them was this plant right here. This is my philodendron PARAISO VERDE. And the reason I wanted to get rid of this plant was because it had no variegation. The only reason I got this plant was to get some variegation on it. This one almost gave me a little something. There was a little, you know, indication that we might get some variegation, but nothing happened. I've got this on a really wobbly moss, like not even moss, but bamboo stake. Bamboo stake's not even in the leca. It's actually just being held between the nursery pot and the cash pot, so it's really wobbly. I'll have to hold on to it. I'm probably gonna go back on my word because I am still planning to give this plant away, but I noticed last month that this plant, this leaf right here, was starting to show signs of variegation. You can see it's kind of getting a bit marbled and it's looking really good. It's not as marbled and as variegated as I would like it to be, but I think it's heading in the right direction. I'm going to be giving away a cutting, but I'm going to be keeping the top of the plant. So you can see I've started to air layer it, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, if the camera will pick it up, but you can kind of see through the pot, there's a kind of a shadow just here. You can kind of see that it's rooted in now. So I'm probably going to cut this up today and get ready to ship this out to my friend next week or so. And hopefully the plant just continues to get even more and more variegated. But it's so unpredictable. You just never know what you're going to get. And I'm sure he's going to have much better luck with it than I have. But yeah, this is it. This is the PARAISO VERDE, and it's finally starting to do something for us. I will keep you guys posted on how we get on. But until then, that is all I have to show you. Okay, so this plant, I have never shown it on this channel because it was just tucked away in my sister's room, right? So I'm running out of space to put plants. So I just decided she wanted something, so I just put a couple of plants in her room, and I typically don't go there to sort of look at the plants. I just go in, water it, and that's it. And that's the end of my relationship with this plant. But I had a fern in my bathroom window that wasn't doing great. So I decided to pull that fern out, and I put it outside actually, and it seems to be doing better outdoors than it is indoors. So anyway, so I decided, obviously that window was very bare now, so I wanted to put a plant there. So I went into my sister's room and I pulled this one out, and this is the Begonia conchifolia. And I don't know why I haven't given this plant more love, more attention, because it is just absolutely stunning and it's so full. You know what? I did put it in that window a couple of weeks ago, and it's been really, really warm. It's still acclimating to its environment, the new space, because now it's in a west-facing window versus an east-facing window. But still, I've had so much new growth in just short space of time. So I'm really pleased. Interestingly enough, when I got this plant, I think the label is still in here. Let's have a look. So they've labeled this plant a peperomia raindrop. You can see that right here, peperomia raindrop. This is not a peperonia. So for a long time, it looked a lot like my my pilea, the Chinese money tree, and because of the round leaves. So I thought it was a peperomia because I was just like, you know, a lot of peperomias definitely do have this shape, but it's not. Because I was searching for it. I was like, peperonia raindrop. I looked online, it looked nothing like it. So I did some digging, and I finally found out that it's actually a peperomia. It's actually a Begonia conchifolia, and it's, yeah, just because you can tell from that red dot in the middle, that venation, the shape of the leaves, just the growth structure. I should have known better because of how this plant grows. You can kind of see those sort of ground stems growing here. So a lot of Hoyas actually grow in this sort of pattern. So I should have known better, but as I said, I wasn't giving this plant any love, any attention, but it's getting it now. So every time I jump in the shower, I see it, I can't avoid it. It looks fantastic. I think the next stage of this plant's evolution with me, or its time with me, is to get it in maybe a bit of a bigger pot, because then I can probably get a really full bushy plant, and I can finally let these runners at the bottom actually root into the substrate and allow it to get even bigger, even more bushy. So that's it, guys. This is the Begonia conchifolia. Let me know your thoughts. I'm currently actually trying to propagate one of the leaves because I accidentally knocked it off, and I thought, you know what, let me try. So I've cut it in half and I've got it rooting away in some sphagnum moss. So I'll let you know how that goes. But until then, this is it. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have the Begonia conchifolia. And this is the final plant for the month, my CEREUS blue cacti, the PERUVIANUS, I think it is. Although the jury's still out on exactly what it is. I might have to ask my friend Anthony. If you haven't seen my video of his houseplant tour, he's got loads of cacti. He really knows his stuff when it comes to cacti and succulents. So I might ask him exactly what this one is, but it was sold to me as a blue PERUVIANUS cacti, a CEREUS PERUVIANUS blue cacti. Oh God, that was a spider. Damn. Oh my days. All right, so so the reason why this plant is on my favorites this month is because I don't know if you can tell, you can see where the color changes on this plant right here. So you can kind of see from around here is where I got this plant from. So you can kind of see, if I go back, the plant when I first got it last year was this tall. I think I might have even got it this year, was this tall. And everything since then is new growth in the summer. This has absolutely blown up. It has surpassed my other succulent, the Euphorbia. And you can see it like over here. Look at the difference. Look at the height. Like this thing, when I moved it from my kitchen, because it was in my windowsill and it started to hit the top of the windowsill, I moved it into here because here it's got the whole, it's got lots of space to grow. And it was shorter than the Euphorbia. And it's now taller than it. And we've still got some more summer to go, and it's still got some more growing to do. So who knows how tall this plant is going to be. I don't know what I'm going to do with it when it's fully grown. When it's going to be hitting the ceiling. Do I cut it down and reroot? Do I don't know. Do I put it outside? But I know these plants don't like winter outside. Who knows? But, you know, it's all about horizon planning. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But until then, it's a gorgeous plant. It's been doing really, really well for me, and I couldn't be any happier. The CEREUS blue cacti. And that brings us to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you made it to the end, please do consider subscribing and hitting that thumbs up, because it really, really does help the channel. It's a very YouTuber thing to say, but I've never said it before, so I thought I'd say it now. But anyway, I hope you guys are staying well, and as always, keep planting.